Okay, so like, who hasn't looked at their to-do list and just been like, whoa, where they even begin? It's like every little thing, every decision, even just like what to eat for dinner, has this extra layer of what ifs lately.
It's
You
right.
know, should I finally make that career jump? Is that ever going to feel like the right time to do anything?
Right.
And like you said, you submitted this HSBC report, Seizing Uncertainty, for us to take a deep dive into.
Yeah,
So clearly this is something that's like on your mind and you're ready to kind of dive in.
absolutely.
They really went big on this one. They talked to over 17,000 people all around the world
Yeah.
to see, like, how are you dealing with this whole uncertainty overload?
Yeah. And it's interesting what this report found is that it's not just in our heads.
Yeah.
Like things actually are more uncertain now than they maybe used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We've got like the global economy doing its own weird thing. We've got climate change just throwing all these curveballs at us.
Mm-hmm.
Geopolitics. I mean, don't even get me started. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's like when you're trying to juggle and someone's like, here, have another bowling pin.
Exactly.
It's like, whoa, something's got to give.
And the numbers show it too. Like, this isn't just us.
Right.
The report actually found that 80% of people globally are saying, yeah, we're really concerned about these big issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's impacting like their personal lives too, more stress, more anxiety about finances, their health.
Right.
It's a shared experience for sure.
It's like this constant hum of what if in the
Yes.
background.
Yes.
And it makes it so much harder to actually make the decision.
Right.
Because you've got the hum and then you're like, but also what if?
Exactly. But here's the thing, and this is really important. Uncertainty doesn't affect everyone in the same way.
Okay.
The report found that Gen Z and millennials are really feeling it, especially when we're talking about careers or their personal lives.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more than like Gen X or boomers.
Interesting.
And for people who are neurodivergent, navigating uncertainty has its own whole set of challenges, which I think highlights how we need ways to make decisions that are really inclusive and adaptable, for everybody.
So it's not even just about feeling uncertain. It's that those feelings make us do stuff or not do stuff.
Right.
Like we put off those big decisions, about our careers or relationships or finances. But just because the world feels chaotic doesn't mean those problems go away.
Exactly.
If anything, it's like another scoop of uncertainty on top.
Right, compounds it.
And that's where this report like really got me, because you're right, they don't go away. So what do we do?
Yeah.
And this report actually gives you tools, like a framework for figuring out how to make good choices, even when it feels like everything's a question mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And the report's whole thing is that good decision-making, it's not like this thing you're born with.
Yeah.
It's a skill, like anything else. You can learn it, you can practice it, you can get better at it.
Okay, so it's not about suddenly being able to see the future. Then what does it look like?
So they break it down into two main parts, and they're both like equally important: mindset and method.
Okay.
So first, let's talk mindset.
Okay.
And it's not about like getting rid of uncertainty completely, because
Good luck with that one.
yeah, exactly right. It's more about being like, okay, uncertainty is just part of this ride. It's shifting from uncertainty is bad to uncertainty is my weird friend who sometimes shows up with pizza.
Uncertainty. The chaotic friend with benefits. I like it.
Right. So they break down like 5 key parts of this uncertainty mindset. So first, being open to uncertainty itself. Like think about it like exploring a new city without a map. You don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
That's the exciting part.
Exactly. And then embracing change.
Okay.
So instead of being like, oh, change, no thank you. It's like, oh, change, this could be cool. What are the possibilities here?
Yeah.
It's about adapting.
Okay.
And then, of course, staying optimistic, even when things are tough.
Right.
Think about a time when you got through something really hard. You've got this.
It's like building up those decision-making muscles.
Exactly. The more you use them, the stronger they get.
Yeah.
Then seeing opportunity in those unexpected places. Because sometimes the best stuff happens when you weren't even planning it.
It's true.
It's about being open to changing your mind, to pivoting.
Yeah.
And then finally being okay with the fact that you might fail sometimes.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is, but it's so important because failure, it's just feedback.
Yeah.
It's a chance to learn and try again and do better next time.
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. It's just a plot twist.
I like that. A plot twist.
Right. So we've got the mindset piece.
Okay.
Now we got to look at the method.
Okay, so we've befriended the uncertainty, made friends with the chaos. Now, how do we actually make decisions? Is there a magic formula?
I wish there was a magic formula. But they do give you a really practical way to think about it. They call it the head-heart network approach.
Okay, interesting. Break that down for me.
Okay, so the head part is kind of what you'd expect. It's like the analytical side, so gathering information, making a plan,
Yeah.
thinking through your options. But the key here is flexible planning.
Oh.
You got to be open to changing course, challenging your own assumptions like, maybe I don't know everything.
That's a tough one. So it's like you've got your map, but you're open to like, oh, shortcut, or, ooh, that looks pretty. I'm going to take a detour.
Exactly. And that's where the heart part comes in.
Okay.
This is all about like your gut feeling, your intuition, those things you just kind of know deep down.
Yeah.
Like we're not robots, right? We've got emotions, and those emotions, they matter when we're trying to make a choice.
Sometimes what makes sense on paper just like doesn't feel right.
Totally. And it's about finding that balance, like where your head and your heart both agree.
Right.
And then the last piece of the puzzle is the network.
Got it.
So the report talks about how important it is to like phone a friend,
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
to people, get advice from your mentors, your friends, your coworkers, even people online.
Mm-hmm. It's like crowdsourcing your decision making.
Exactly. Because you get those different perspectives, you find your blind spots. It's huge.
Yeah, and they give some good examples in the report, right? Like Deepak's story.
Oh, yeah. Deepak's story is a powerful one.
For those who haven't read it, he had to take over his family business really suddenly after his brother passed away.
Yeah, which is just a lot to deal with on every level.
Yeah, so how did he even start making decisions with all that going on?
So for Deepak, it was really about realizing that, like, to make good decisions, he had to be doing okay himself, He was grieving, he was hurting, but he still had to show up for his family and for the business.
Right.
So he really focused on taking care of himself mentally and emotionally, while also making sure that, like, whatever choices he made felt right for him and his family.
So he was using both the head and the heart parts there.
Yeah, and the network, too. He talked to his family and friends, of course, but also, like, business advisors, anyone who could offer support and advice.
It's like that saying, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.
Yes. Sometimes just doing something, even a small thing, is enough to get you moving.
And speaking of moving, the report talks about this confidence loop.
Oh, yeah, the confidence loop, it's like this awesome snowball effect.
Yeah.
The more good decisions you make, the more confident you become.
Okay.
And then the more confident you feel, the easier it is to make those good decisions in the future.
So it keeps building on itself.
Exactly. It's like this upward spiral of good vibes and good choices.
So it's not about being perfect at making decisions. It's about practicing and getting better over time.
Exactly. And the cool thing is you can start small.
Okay.
Just by trying to be more aware of those mindset shifts we talked about, being open to uncertainty and change,
Yeah.
staying optimistic, remembering that failure is just feedback. Those things can make a huge difference in how you deal with uncertainty.
I love it. So basically, uncertainty is just part of life.
Pretty much.
But it doesn't have to be this scary thing that paralyzes us.
Nope.
We have the power to get better at dealing with it.
We do.
And by using these tools,
Mm-hmm.
the head-heart network, the mindset, the method,
Mm-hmm.
we can make better choices,
Mm-hmm.
even when things feel a little chaotic.
Absolutely.
This whole deep dive has been so good, honestly.
It's been fun.
Because it's like a good reminder that we got this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We can do this. We can handle whatever life throws at us.
We can. And you know what? Since we were talking about flexible planning, I'm curious.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to, like, totally change your plans last minute? And how'd it go?
Ooh, good question.
Something to think about.
Something to think about for all of us. And hey, if you've got something you'd like us to deep dive into, let us know. Until then,
Yeah.
happy deciding, everyone.